Hello there, Tolkien fanatics. I hope this video finds you guys all doing well. Today I just want to take a minute and go over a couple of rules, clarifications that I find, these are kind of personal pet peeves that people do a lot, and they're not technically legal. So I wanted to clarify this and make sure that for newer players out there, or for veteran players who I've also seen many experienced, skilled veteran players make this mistake of doing. So I'm going to cover a couple things here, and just a quick rundown real quick. So on this side of the board, whatever you want to call it, I have 8 high elf warriors with elf bow being led by Arwen. Okay, now this is not accurate at all for how competitive play would be. I'd be at 3rd bow limit, so this would not be possible. And I'm doing this because this is a scenario that I see, and I want to specifically talk about it. On this side, we have 8 Uruk-hai warrior scouts, or Uruk-hai scouts, I'm sorry. 4 with shield, 4 with just, nothing but their sword. And this is kind of the typical configuration of what you want to see. You would want to have your shield wielding guys in the front. If you have non-shield wielding guys, and put them in the back. Usually it's a spear and shield wall, but since Uruk-hai scouts can't take spears or pikes, because pikes are what Isengard can bring for the Uruk-hai warriors, in this situation we're just going to leave them on the back so they're not taking extra fire. Now folks are probably at home going, well, it doesn't really make a difference. Defense 5, defense 4, they're both wounded on 5s by elf bows. You're right, that's true. Kudos on you for noticing that. I'm just using this as a situation for, hey, this is might be how you want to set something up. If you have a higher defense warrior model with a shield, you can put them in front and hopefully defend against bows. If they were strength 2 bows, that would be a very good thing to do, because then these defense 5 guys would be wounded on 6s instead of 5s. Alright, so that's not what I really want to talk about. Just some tips and tricks, little things I add in here and there when I'm talking and doing videos to help, give you some tactics to use and some strategies. So the thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera out. I have a couple things. So this is the first thing I have. So these guys are all lined up in a nice, square formation, whatever. It's not perfect because, things get bumped as I move them around. But the objective idea here is to be in base contact with the guy in front of you. So you can see that here. With a quick rundown, they are in base contact all the way. There, I'll do that. So that is great. So when they're shooting at these Isengard scouts over here, the second rank can shoot straight through to the rank in front. Okay, so here's the issue, guys. You can shoot through the guy in front of you if you have line of sight. I'm trying to get this camera set up. Hold on. My apologies. So that being said, going from the eye line of this rear right guy, he can see pretty much everybody in this front rank. That's great. Now, if you counter to this guy in the corner, all right, and I'm going to actually do this to make it more obvious. We'll just slide these guys down, all right? All right. Okay, so here we go. So we slid down. So, say he wants to shoot this fellow over here on the end. Well, this elf to his, front and left isn't in the way. They are not touching bases. You cannot shoot through a friendly model if you're good. This is an illegal shot. I see this time and time again from folks going, oh, well, they're all in base contact. No, that doesn't matter if they're all in base contact like that. Now, if you were to do a little bit of a stagger formation like this, then yes, that would be fine, because you'd be through both of them. You'd be in base contact with both of them, okay? The downside to doing that is that if there's an archer over here in this corner, he now has an open line of shot onto this guy. Because from that viewpoint, in this corner, that would be an open line of sight to here. So if one of these guys on the edge here was an archer, they'd have an open shot. But the advantage is now that you can shoot through 2 people. So that's key. That is big. Because again, I see that happen time and time again. It's my cat in the background. Say hi, Grace. Where people are just like, oh, I can just shoot all of them because I'm in base contact. No, you cannot. You need to check line of sight. All right, this is something I see frequently. I think I said that about 3 times now. All right, next issue I see, and this is the one that really irks me. Grace, get out of the way. My cat wants to be part of the video. Is folks just say, okay, I've got 8 bow shots. I'm just going to shoot everybody on the front rank. and we'll just start with wounds from left to right. That's wrong. That is dead wrong. What did I just say about having to be able to get line of sight to shoot through? You can't do that. Secondly, targets have to be specifically declared by each model. Now that doesn't mean you have to sit here and go one model at a time shooting. By the rules, yes, that is how you're supposed to do it. But for tournament play, when we are in limited time crunches and situations where you're trying to get things done in a fast way, no, that's just not going to work. But what you can do, and this is the appropriate way to do it, is say, I'm going to shoot this first group of 3 archers at this guy on the end. All 3 are in base contact, all 3 have line of sight, all 3 can shoot at him, all right? Do your shooting. If he dies, great. If he doesn't, well, choose what to do next, all right? I'll do my next group of 3 on this guy, okay? Let's check line of sights again. Yeah, they're all in base contact now that we have the staggered, staggered square. All right, we'll shoot. And then if the final 2, they don't do it, you can do the final 2 on that guy. So that is the way you're supposed to do it. There is none of this, oh yeah, I'm just going to roll all my 8 dice and whoever hits will just wound from left to right. No. Control zones matter in this game. Therefore, you can't just go, oh yeah, I got 2 wounds, so those 2 guys are gone. No. You need to specifically choose who your targets are moving across your formation of archers. All right? The other thing that irks me, and this is just kind of a common courtesy thing, if you have a lot of archers in an archery-heavy army, and I play Rangers as Vithilians, so this is why I stress this, make sure you have some dice or tokens so you can mark the guys that have shot. Don't be 30 guys into shooting when you have 50 archers and go, oh, which one's shot again? That's really slimy. Have something to noticeably mark them. For me, it's simple. I shoot in quartets. I shoot 4 guys at a time. I stick a dice in front of them, and I move the dice down the row, guy by guy, as I shoot each 4. Every time I shoot 4, I put another dice. And every time I shoot the next 4, I put another dice. That way, there's no doubt which one of my guys has shot. All right? I'm going to rearrange this real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys something else. All right, guys, so I've rearranged the models on the board, and we're just pretending they've moved closer to get into that combat range. And as you can see, these lines of archers have split, and we're allowed Arwen to come up through the middle. Now, this is important. She's getting ready to cast, Wrath of Brunian. And I believe I can't remember, I know they nerfed it down to a 3-inch range. I can't remember if they nerfed it down to be, so that, I think they still take a strength 2 wound when they get knocked down. And I think the channel version is like strength 4, something like that. I can't remember exactly. But we'll say for this example that she's going to go ahead and do the channel version, and we'll say that it's strength 4. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We're just going to use this for, shits and giggles example. So first up, the most important thing is you have to stop an inch away. All right, when casting. If there is a control zone there, you must stop an inch away. So the reason I have this set up this way is that we have the inch control zone area. So she's going to come up and stop an inch away. Because once you enter a control zone, you have to charge. And if you have to charge, you cannot cast. So she's going to stop an inch away, and she's going to cast Nature's Wrath. I'm sorry, not Nature's Wrath. Wrath of Brunian. So 3-inch bubble, I'm not going to measure it out specifically. We'll just say that she gets all 4 of these guys in the front line, all right? Probably gets a couple guys in the back line too, like directly in front of her, like these 2. And I would reckon that these guys may be out of range, but I don't have a ruler nearby, and that's not really the whole point of this exercise. What is the point of the exercise is, as I've already stated, you must stop an inch away if there's a control zone. Now, if these guys are charged, okay, we'll just do this real quick. So see, now this guy's charged both. So there is no control zone, so she can get up closer, which is actually a very smart tactic that you should use. You should definitely have your guys charge in to help negate control zones, because then you can loop around the outside, come right up as close as you can to push that bubble. And Isengard, like I said, if you're playing regular Isengard, these guys can go pikes, they'll go 3 deep. So if you can get in there as close as you can get your base, that 3 inches to hit the 3rd guy in the right in the pike block, that'd be great. But for this situation, we're just going to pretend that didn't happen. Again, just a little tactics talk on top of me critiquing how rules should be played out. Alright, so she casts it, it goes off, nobody can resist it, everybody gets knocked down, alright? Well, like we say, we just say these 4 guys in the front get knocked down. Alright, here you go. First thing, this irks me to no end. Do not do that. Do not put your model prone. It says so in the book to put the model prone. It says to go ahead and use a marker. Why is this important? Again, because control zones are important. So if you're trying to go ahead and go around something to get to this back guy, and you got this guy here, you can't really go around him because it's blocking. So go ahead and just say, you put a marker on them. Sometimes you use dice. I use little dice. My thing is to use a little die. I put a little die next to the guy with a, a 1. If it's this whole row, I'll put a die here and have it say 4, because then we know that whole row of 4 is prone. I know that the General's Accessory Pack is great because it gives you little markers you can stick up under the base that will stick out and you can see it. Alright, so that's something else that you can do. Let's see. So that's the first thing, don't put them prone. The second thing that's important, again, and this goes back to kind of with the shooting. Everyone here is going to take the strength 4 hit. You don't just throw 4 dice and say, okay, we'll just knock them off from left to right. No, you have to roll individual dice for each individual model. Again, this is annoying, this is where it can take time, but since it's only 3-inch spell now as opposed to 6, there shouldn't be as many dice thrown as there used to be. Again, because control zones are important. Even though they're prone, should they survive, get into combat, they can shield and stand back up, they're there. So if you don't die, don't die, don't die, or I'm sorry, don't die, die, don't die, die, these control zones, these guys' control zones actually overlap to where those guys that died were at, okay? Where before, if you just took those 2 out in the end, now you've got the ability to move through here without there being another control zone. So it is rather important, I'm sorry, not rather, it is important that you make sure you roll each dice individually when working out who is going to die. Similar to my prior example earlier on about doing the shooting, all right? So, not trying to come across as a jackass. If that's what you think, that's cool, I am a jackass. But that is how you're supposed to play the game, and it is rather irksome, as I said earlier, when someone's like, yeah, I'm just going to do that. And it's like, no, man, that's not how that works. And then you have to sit there and try and argue semantics, and it's right there in the book. And when you're in a situation where you're playing an event and you're on a time limit, it's really annoying to get into an argument about semantics when it's right there black and white and you should know so ahead of time. And as I said, I've seen this from new players as well as those who are the seasoned, constant podium players. And it may be a bit of gamemanship, or it just may be a lack of, hey, I actually really didn't know that. But here you go. Hopefully this helps you guys out. That's my little tactics talk for this, my little tutorial. If there's anything else that you'd like to see explained, please let me know. That might help out somebody else. So until next time, guys, thank you, take care. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button, and enjoy the Tolkien Legendarium.